pursuant to the statute. We will now open the public hearing for consideration of a resolution determining to submit to the electors the question of levying an extension of alcohol and cigarette tax on sports facilities. Any correspondence received for or against the resolution from citizens who do not testify will be distributed to all council members and will become a part of the official public record for this hearing. I will now recognize anyone who wishes to speak for or against the proposed resolution. Please come to the podium and state your name for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to make a presentation. Now, Jean, do you need to read this into the record yet?
No, I don't believe I need to do so at this time. However, I do have several citizens who have signed in to speak for this public hearing. The first is Rocco Whalen.
Mr. Whalen? Okay, all right. He's going to come back at 5.
Former Mayor Dan Posick.
Welcome, Mayor Posick. There is a life after being an elected official, right?
Yes, there is, and it's good. I just want to say good evening or good afternoon to you folks, and I appreciate the job you guys have done. It's been wonderful to see this evolution of this council, and it's been heartening to see it happen. And Mr. Executive, thank you for your service, and I'm here really as a proponent for putting the sin tax on the ballot. I happened to, in an earlier life, served on the Gateway campaign back in 1990. I was designate for the Southeast side, and I worked my tail off. And it's one of the best campaigns I ever served in my life because it was a cross-section of Democrats, Republicans, and Independents because they had a vision. And that vision, I just wanted you to go recall something. Most of this audience is, I look at, they're half of them under the age of 50. They don't remember what they used to look like. Where the Progressive Field is and the Q is at. They don't remember what it looked like. They don't remember how this town looked in 1990 and what this has done for our city. And I may be the former mayor of Bedford, but I'm also a Clevelander. And I think this is important for the continued vitalization of this community. But the bottom line is this: if we don't pass it, we're still on the hook. We're still on the hook. And so I think I want to urge the passage of this, the placing of this on the ballot, and I urge the passage of it in May. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh Demankus.
Good afternoon again, Council. This actually will have other aspects to it than my previous.
Yeah, because I was just going to have him replay the tape. I was going to have him replay the tape.
Right. No, I understand. I think that the important thing that we need to realize here is we have a unique opportunity to affect positive change, one that won't present itself for another 5, 10, or 20 years, however long this tax is proposed to be extended if it is placed on the ballot and approved. We must not squander this opportunity. Everyone is putting forth their best face, being very accessible and solicitous when $260 million are on the table. After that money is guaranteed, how much will we see them before the next renewal issue? County Executive Mr. Fitzgerald cites the economic disparity between the haves and have-nots and how the sin tax isn't going to resolve this issue. Certainly one tax issue is not going to solve the economic disparities that are so plainly visible in Cleveland. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. We can't fix everyone's financial difficulties with this one issue, even if Gateway had created 28,000 jobs. But we can improve some people's financial situation if there are solid employment goals locked in with binding language enforced by an oversight committee. Another thing that everyone's talking about is a deadline. Everyone acts as if this needs to be done quickly. That is true only if we want to have this on the ballot in May. We have plenty of time to put this on the November ballot. There are two big advantages to putting it on the November ballot as opposed to May. We have more time to negotiate a better deal, and there will be a larger turnout in a non-primary election. I think that's a laudable goal when everyone will be affected by it. So in closing, I'd say let's not hurry. We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity here. Let's not hurry $260 million. Let's take our time and do it right. Please do not put this on the May ballot. If it must be placed on the ballot, put it on the November ballot after you've negotiated a better deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Whalen is present now and will speak.
How's everyone doing today? My name is Rocco Whalen. I am a restaurateur chef in the city of Cleveland, proudly, for the last 15 years. My first restaurant opened in Tremont, a small neighborhood on the western edge of downtown, about 13 years ago. And subsequently, I've opened spaces inside of Quicken Loans Arena, Horseshoe Cleveland Casino, First Energy Stadium, as well as I drag a food truck through in and about town every day during the summer months to incorporate and establish the vitality that I believe this city needs. Our sports teams are integral to the success of this city. The economic effect that all three teams have. Fact of the matter that there are only 15 cities in the country that have 3 sports teams. These are all very important to us. Whether it's an employee of mine, a server, a busboy that's looking at this syntax positively or negatively, I think they need to know the facts and understand that we need our sports teams to continue to be a city that's renowned for many things, not just sports, their teams, the food culture, but actually northeastern Ohio. I'm for the syntax. I'm for it in May, and I'm ready to sign on and continue to make this city one of the best cities in the Midwestern part of the United States. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Madam President, there are no other speakers who have requested to speak.
And we do have a presentation from Mr. Yablonsky.
Madam President, members of council, thank you. I'm here representing the Historic Gateway Neighborhood Corporation. We are the community development corporation for the area around the Gateway Sports Complex. It was referenced what this area looked like when the bond issue was passed in 1990. And there is an economic reality and even statistical reality we can speak to. And because of what's changed, I encourage you to put this on the ballot and continue the momentum of what Gateway has meant as an anchor. I spoke about this the other day, but the baseline is when the Gateway issue passed in 1990, there were only 6 full-service restaurants in this district. Today, there are 45 to 50. There are 30 additional eateries in the district. There was no housing here. There's always reference made to jobs. The vision we thought might happen with certain types of projects maybe it didn't happen, but there's a quantifiable reality to mixed-use projects happen nearby, mainly through the tools of historic preservation. So the benefit of that is we really protected and preserved what is best about Cleveland. We have a great downtown with great architecture, and the Gateway Complex allowed us to establish 3 historic districts adjacent, and that has meant very good things for this downtown that are continuing to grow. Joe Marinucci referenced a residential downtown, which is, we did not envision that in Gateway. You can go back and check the literature. There was no housing in this area at all. Today, there are 18 residential buildings in the Gateway District, and more are under construction. There were no hotels in this district. Today there are 5, and there are 4 additional in planning and development, 2 of which are under construction. And it's not in a vacuum. Those also speak to our new convention center, the Global Health Center, and Gateway provides the template where that type of investment can happen. And it also has really protected some of our historic assets and allowed them to be rejuvenated. We've referenced the arcade. We've referenced East 4th Street, the Colonial and Euclid arcades, which is now the 5th Street arcades. These investments and what's underway now actually physically total to $700 million worth of projects. We can quantify that. It's a real number. The only time the jobs issue has been referenced, the only time that's been fully studied with an exhaustive labor study was 10 years after the facility opened. Cleveland State did a study about the Gateway area. They referenced 12,000 permanent jobs that were created in that district, 10 years in 2004. The original campaign literature talked about 28,000 jobs, and if you go back and read the fine print, that was 16,000 permanent, 12,000 construction. So having 12,000 off the 16 projected is not a bad number. It's a good number. So we have very good real investment numbers. We have retaken a part of the downtown that was very derelict, as the mayor referenced, what it looked like in 1990. What does it look like today? And it's not a stagnant piece. It's continuing. There's very solid investment that will continue, that will build off the continued momentum of operating these facilities in a very first-class way. So for that reason, I urge you to put it on the ballot and let the community continue its investment in the Gateway area. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is anyone else here to see? Would anyone else like to make a comment? This is the public meeting. This is your last chance. Okay. We've had an opportunity to hear from both sides of this issue, and I certainly appreciate all those participants who have come this evening and in prior meetings and given us your view. At this point, does council have any other comments or questions? Will we move on? Okay. All right. If there's no further comment, then we will officially close this public hearing and move on to our regular meeting. I'd like to. What? I got to wait 4 minutes?
No. The item needs to be read into the record, and then council needs to make its consideration.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. I got ahead of myself. All right. So you want to do what now? We got to go to item 5? Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Reading into the
Strike
record.
from the record my other comments.
Reading into the record resolution number 2014-0002, a resolution determining to submit to the electors the question of levying an extension of the alcohol and cigarette excise taxes for the purpose of paying the costs of constructing, renovating, improving, or repairing sports facilities and reimbursing a county for costs incurred by the county in the construction of sports facilities.
At this point, entertain a motion to move this item to the regular agenda for third reading.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Okay. Any other discussion on this item, moving to the regular agenda? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the ayes have it, and we'll take that on the regular agenda. Any miscellaneous business? And any public comment unrelated to the agenda? And we are now 2 minutes ahead, and we can adjourn.